Greetings. I'd like to talk about this one today. It's a beautiful image. People forgetting themselves and helping someone else. Something to strive for. And it's not just the actualization or self-transcendence, actually, of the person pushing the chair. It's also the willingness of the person in the chair to be helped. Both need to let go and to allow themselves to be in the presence of others. This concept of helping others and realizing that life is more than just about myself is such an important concept. It's the core of existence. It's the core of logotherapy. And in fact, it's the core of the great religions. Interestingly, Elizabeth Lucas suggests that when we do this and forget ourselves and help someone else, in some ways it's a selfish act because we actually feel good about it. It's a natural thing to do. Now, I noticed that Frankl mentions here actualization. He had a discussion with the great Abraham Maslow about his hierarchy. And I noticed that, in fact, the latest concept of the hierarchy has transcendence at the top. Frankl's discussion really was for the person to self-actualize, to be fully human, to be myself, requires a lot of self-transcendence along the way. In fact, his point was that even if physiological and safety needs are not actually being met, the human being is capable of taking an attitude, of taking a decision, a choice as to what we'll do with that. And so all along the way, he said to Maslow, you need to self-transcend if in fact you are ever going to self-actualize, which, a bit like happiness, is a fleeting thing, Frankl suggested. Now, I'm going to be a little bit controversial here, because in this whole concept of development, we tend, if we're not careful, to focus on values such as success, whatever that means, achievement, advancement and promotion, financial security, status, overall wealth. And in some ways, we older people, I'm one of them, preach that by our actions. And yet, if we are going to model what a successful human life is, we would preach helping others, honesty, close relationships, affection, loving and caring, and helping others in society. Now, when we don't do that, then we disadvantage our young people. We're not modeling the sort of life that they need to see. Wonderful Socrates felt that somehow or other the young are difficult. Now, we know that. Of course, it's a natural thing. But we can teach them how to behave in public, how to react with others. What we can't teach them unless we model it are the values, the real values of what it actually means to be human. And when we don't do that, when we fail as a society, if as a society we focus on achievement, money, advancement, promotion, status, then eventually young people maybe begin to understand that what we're focusing on is not realistic. It's a lie. And what do they do when they find out that what society says is important is not important? Sahel India wrote a wonderful book on youth futures many years ago, and I still keep it beside me. And he said, you know, what young people do when they realize that society's values are not real? He said there's 4 things they can do. First of all, they can go with it. Get rich quick, join the BMW set, run away with wealth. And many try to do that. Or they can seek for something more certain. Go to a fundamentalist group, a fundamentalist religion, fundamentalist political group, or, and this is a worry, and we see this all the time, they can become very angry. They don't know why. They can become very even violent and abusive. They're not quite sure why. But in fact, underneath all that is you're preaching to us the wrong message. And finally, of course, some decide to end it all. So it's really up to us. We need to forget ourselves, and we need to model for young people what life really is about, because self-actualisation can only be achieved through self-transcendence and through giving of the self. Thank you for listening.